Hello again.
Goodbye.
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you. I got myself some booch. Some fresh Idaho booch.
Oh, nice.
Kombucha, I hope?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Fresh
hoping.
Idaho kombucha.
A real stone
That's how you
booch.
know it's good. It's got the Idaho logo on it.
Thank you for that, Riv. I needed that.
Yeah, you're anytime. I've got you.
Did I miss a rant?
I'm here for the one-liners, and that's all. No, you didn't miss the rant. We were working on getting Celeste's mic audio a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm. Morgan,
Yeah.
do you
I
have
had to
any
give it some weed, and it's better. We're good.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like
Very
I
cool.
have been leading the discussion at this point, so I feel like, is there any questions that Celeste or Riv haven't been able to ask, or a conversation that we should have that I haven't given you the opportunity to yet?
I have questions, but I will go last if Celeste has
No.
anything.
You go first, Riv.
Okay.
I'll go
Thank
last.
you,
No,
Marcy.
you go first.
No, you go. You go.
Well,
No, you
I've
can
asked
go.
more questions
you
than
can
you
go.
have so far.
Well,
So
Got
It is a
Canadian
contest, and
standoff.
it's not a contest, but if it was, I would be winning.
Well,
Marcy, you would always be winning.
yeah. Marcy.
That's my middle
Marcy
name.
is a great interviewer. I am a manager at work, so I facilitate a lot, which means I try to talk less than people who are my minions in meetings and stuff.
Ooh, am I
I
one of your
totally
minions?
And I'm here for the stupid things that randomly come out of my mouth. So that's our roles.
Can I be a
Do
minion?
you want to be minions?
Mars-
You could be a minion if you
I
want
want
to
to be Minion Marsha.
That's going to be your new email address
Minion Marsha.
at transpotting.com.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Okay,
I
questions.
could just be
I have
minion at
questions.
transpotting.com. Sorry.
No, that'll like redirect to something funnier. I'll figure out
Okay.
a joke for that.
It just
Uh,
auto replies banana.
Banana.
Oh no! The skibby dibby toilet for
Morgan.
boomers.
No, no
It
Skippy.
really is.
No.
Oh my
That's
god.
what the minions are. Okay. Go ahead, Riv.
Skippy
Sorry.
it sounds disgusting.
Ugh.
Is it disgusting?
Yes.
It's psychologically
I'm-
disgusting.
Yes.
Then I am
Just like the
not.
minions.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'm
It's at
not
the same
fucking
level.
with it.
You
Okay.
don't want to.
I don't want to fuck with it. Okay, I won't. Morgan, I
Yes.
am about halfway through Wood Pusher, and I'm
Okay.
absolutely loving it. I love the particular realm that you've built for this series. Can you give us a little bit of without too many spoilies? Can you give us a little bit of like a rundown about the realm and where it's set in, and kind of a little bit of backstory to kind of hype it up and give our potential readers out there something to look forward to?
Without spoilers is going to be the tricky part, because I'm very much the person that I want spoilers when I read things, because my anxiety does
I do
that with
too.
them.
I do too. I know.
So, okay, the best way I can think of to describe this is that, so, as I mentioned, there's 2 books in the series. Kotov Syndrome is the first book. Wood Pusher's the second. Most of the significant majority of Kotov Syndrome takes place in what would be our real world, just set 2035-ish. And so with that in mind, most of that book takes place in the U.S. Midwest, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, a little bit in Canada, but most of it's in the U.S. Midwest. Wood Pusher, book 2 in series, does have a little bit still in the Midwest, just when other stuff happens. It's kind of like one-off scenes, or you flash to other people that you've met previously. But most of it occurs in this universe called the Aziz Realm. And essentially it is, if you think about the Milky Way as it floats through space, it is, a universe Earth is obviously going around the sun in our solar system. Our solar system's moving within the Milky Way, and the Milky Way moves within the larger universe. The Aziz realm is another universe, and its path is essentially intersecting with that of the Milky Way. And therefore, that is how folks can travel to and from this realm via various things that get talked about through the series without getting too spoilery. The people who live there, and they are people because they've been brought over by the previous inhabitants of the Aziz realm. There are people who live there. They live in a very scientifically advanced society. There's a lot of stuff that is just beyond our reach at this point. Like, I don't think this will be too spoilery because it shows up in like page 6 or 7 of the book. If you're not that far, I'm sorry, but there is something that the main character Erica refers to as a magic fridge, and basically what it is a pantry that you can select food that is in it, and it not only gives you the food, but it cooks, assembles it, and prepares it for you. It just like it delivers it to you, and like conceptually, like, yes, I want this, but like it's just kind of a smaller illustration of the advancement of technology in this universe where time moves at a slower pace than it does in ours, and therefore they've had over the same amount of time where we've been able to advance in technology, they have what is effectively 11 times that amount of time, and therefore they can do a lot more with that. And it's the universe, just because it's an intersecting one, will eventually travel away from ours, but it's close enough right now that people, spiritual beings in that other universe, etc., can travel between those universes within certain circumstances.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hopefully that wasn't
Go
too
out and read
spoilery.
it. Go get it. Go get it and read it.
Sounds like there's some fun alternate dimensions, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
There is. The premise of the second book is that basically, I mentioned the whole saving the world thing. The two main characters in the book, Erica, who's our token dumpster fire lesbian, and then her android girlfriend, Abby. They have to save the world, but it's not literally just them. There's a small group of people who have to try to do it, and they don't exactly know what they're having to save things from. As they start out, they just know that they have to train to save it, and they're being trained by people already in that universe to save Earth, but they're not being given a lot of info as to from what or why, and without spoiling it, that gets more into it as the series goes along. But with that said, there's a lot of commentary on the timey-wimey stuff of it, mostly from Erica, just because she's like, why is this a thing? Why am I here? Please stop. I want to go home. But she's not the only one. There's another character in the book, Shaw, who I quite enjoy him, as absurd as he is. I think he's going to be one of my characters that grows the most over the series, but he is very much, he's very, very much just a walking comic relief, either in that he is saying absurd stuff or he is the target of absurd stuff because he is at times problematic and a little too flirty for his own good. Those around him do let him know it, and he will improve because of it, but we got to start somewhere.
I love it. Not to get too spoily, but I love especially how Abby, who is the android girlfriend, really, the personality of Abby doesn't really read as android, which I think is great. It just reads as girl who has her shit together and doesn't freak out. So like a normie. And Erica, I love that there's some some really internalized like self-deprecating talk that can happen that she's
Mm-hmm.
actively like pushing away pretty frequently. And
Mm-hmm.
can I just say, same girl, same. Identify strongly. Yes.
I've had multiple people, I've had multiple people tell me that the internalized self-talk that Erica does is by far the most they have ever wanted to slap a character.
That's an accomplishment. That's an accomplishment.
And it's
Oh,
not
no,
just
and I
one
identify
person.
with
It
it.
has been
Oh, no.
multiple people. I do too. That's the problem.
Mhm.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
interesting
you,
that it-
Celeste.
Of course.
I can
Yeah.
waive my time if Celeste has any questions.
So I was more of an avid reader when I was younger. As I've grown into adulthood, because like especially once I hit college, I had to read a lot of books. I was a journalism major. I did
Hey,
like
same.
creative. Yeah. Oh, nice. Hello. I've not used it at all.
Broadcast journalism, but journalism, nevertheless.
Yeah, mine was video journalism, so I would
Okay.
like script writing, camera, all of that kind of stuff was more
I was
my
radio
thing.
side.
Radio side, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
took a couple radio classes. It's interesting how different it was. But I would do creative writing on the side, and it was just like for myself, very much in the way you're talking about. It was almost like a self-therapy. And I eventually I stepped away from that just out of like losing interest. But as I've gotten older, I've gone more into the video game side of it, and I specifically love very story-driven video games. So I just it's so fascinating to me that you're making this dating sim, and I can just only imagine what the storyboard, like when you put out a big whiteboard and like all of the chain events that are coming off from each thing.
Mhm.
Is the act of having choice in something, like the story having lots of diverting points, is that something you enjoy on that side of it versus a very linear storytelling for book writing?
Yes, it is harder, but I do enjoy it.
Mhm.
I end up doing a lot of playing in Excel as a result of that.
Oh yeah.
Just to be able to script things and make sure, like, because a lot of, from a game standpoint, I have to do it in terms of like flagging, like if you have met these conditions, X, Y, Z can't happen, and so just keeping track of all that's tricky. But like I've always loved story-based games, like you get into like the Fire Emblem series and whatnot, and it's just like, I just want to go play those and have people not bother me. But
Same.
like, yeah. So
Same.
I mean, I think that there's certainly a lot of gratification that comes from writing that style. If Intelligent Systems ever wants to hire me to write for Fire Emblem, I am open to requests. However,
I'll reach out to them for you.
yes, all of y'all's many contacts that I'm sure
That's
I also
right.
have. But no, it's fun in the sense that like it gives you as a writer the opportunity to be able to tell a story in the way you want, but also give people the power to have outcomes come out a little differently depending on the choices they make, and I think that's really powerful. Like my intent when I originally started designing the game, because this isn't the first time I've tried to do something choose your own adventure. Back when Twitter was less toxic, less being the critical word, I did in 2019 and 2020 a choose your own adventure story where basically I told a story through tweets and polls, basically just real time doing it daily. And that was supposed to be a short story that I ran over December, maybe into January of that time, and it turned into a 70,000 word story.
Oh wow.
Because that's just where it went. So like I got the experience from that I think has really helped with this story. But like as I was coming up with the game, it's like, okay, well, in order to make this playable, I want to have multiple different options for whom Harper can date and to interact with and end up with. And so like when I started out the game, there were 6 different main love interests that kind of explored tropes I wanted to discuss and to subvert and whatever it may be. As I've written it out, like I still have those main 6 that I want to give players the opportunity to meet. But, eventually what I'd like to do, if I can get the time and the money resources, because I have to pay for art and whatnot because I draw stick figures. It's I want to be able to do, other ones. Like I've got for like a second wave of characters, I've got like 9 already thought up for it that are just people that you meet throughout, some of which you meet even in this and some of which you don't. So like it's something that has, having those split paths gives you so much opportunity as a player, but it gives you so much more opportunity as a writer to be able to continue to do more within the same world.
I have one question to follow up on that. As a writer, when somebody is playing your game, most people aren't going to see all of the words that you've written. Most people aren't going to see all of the paths. Most people are going to choose the ones that are interesting to them, and then the rest they won't see. Are you curious on, like, do you get to see which paths are popular, and does it bother you that there might be things that you spend a long time working on that only a very few people who play it will ever see?
It doesn't bother me at all. People are going to play for what they're going to play for regardless. So that doesn't bother me at all. I don't get to see that. I want to find a way to code that into the game. I have not figured it out yet. I want to figure it out, though, so that I can keep track of this. That said, in terms of like missing some of that dialogue and whatnot, just purely because I am writing this by myself, I wrote the intro section, which you see almost everything in the intro section, regardless of the choices you make. It just impacts later stuff. So the intro is pretty much the same across the board. However, based on some of the choices you make in the intro, what will happen is for each of those 6 paths, like different events will be available in whatnot. And I've only started one of those, and that's Sarah, the what if Sherlock Holmes was portrayed as the bimbo type thing. Her character was the first one because it won a poll on the Discord. I run for it.
Nice.
And so she's the first one. And then the second character in would be the next path I do is Rena, who is the daughter of the person who owns the apartment complex. And she is a person who wants to be an artist, but her parents own the complex and they don't consider art to be a real career and are very pressuring towards having a job that makes her money and having kids, which she doesn't want because she doesn't think that she wants or know what she wants. She's also ace, and they're very pressuring her to have a traditional straight relationship when she's on the ace spectrum, and if anything leans slightly more lesbian in terms of that. So like dissects that type of thing. So as I build this out, it's going to be more and more folks that we go into. And so I'll have a little bit of understanding of just what people play just based on what's released and what's not. But
and probably
eventually once it gets large enough, unless I can code something in there, I don't think there's a way to tell it. I could be wrong.
Though if there's discussion on it, you'll probably see which ones people are talking about.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I know that like of the main characters, there's 3, or the main love interests, there's 3 of them that generate a lot of interest right now, Sarah and Rena being the first 2, and the third being this girl named Blake, who is a full-time streamer and is a walking advertisement. And I adore her. But she's arguably like the second most popular behind Sarah, but it's just she's going to require so much art compared to the other characters. Like, I cannot lead with you.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Well, Morgan, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate the conversation. It's been fun and illuminating, and it's been interesting to hear what you've been up to. And I'm really glad that Riv had those very specific questions to ask you about the book.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'd love to know more once you do finish them. Go ahead.
I will definitely email you my thoughts. Probably at like 1 a.m. or something, as I wake up and have a dream about the characters. Morgan, would you feel comfortable sharing that Discord potentially for us to share out with our community to take a peek at? Or is that more a private thing?
So it's currently more a private thing. I am working on building it out, but I can certainly let you know once it is built out. It will eventually be. I just haven't finished that part yet. I can also share with you all some links for the. There is a site I built out just to provide a little bit of an overview on the characters and whatnot for the game, and also for my writing stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Where
please.
can our viewers find you? Where would they? What are your sites and handles?
So, in terms of sites and social media, most everything is Another Indie Writer is handled in most places. So website is anotherindiewriter.com. It's also my handle on Blue Sky. Instagram is Another Indie Writer. That's what it is on Ko-fi and Twitch. I think really the only exception is Facebook, and that's S. Morgan Burbank. That's the only one I think of as an exception at this point. As I mentioned, I write books, so everything in terms of the books is up on my website, anotherindiewriter.com. I also do editing services, primarily focusing on developmental editing for folks who have longer series, but I do a lot of editing for writers. That is under my editing company, which is Job at Place, which is what everyone does when they go to work. They do their job at Place. And
why do I love that so much?
It's not even my joke. It's inspired by someone else, and I love it. And it's like, I'm taking that as a business name. Because it's beautiful. And then I'll mention that I have the both the game starting over, and then my site for the game are both Salamander 6 Studios. So if you go on itch.io, if you search Salamander 6 Studios, you'll be able to find the game. And then salamander6studios.card.co, I think, is the one for the game. And I'll drop these in links so you guys can share when the podcast goes out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say I tried searching starting over on itch, and I got somebody else's, but it was also
it's in the chat.
Yeah. Well, I found yours.
It is
too.
in the chat, and if you're looking for it, it is the one that has a logo. The main screen of it currently, until the art gets done, is just a black screen with hastily written words that say "sexy image."
Beautiful.
That's a brilliant placeholder.
It is. There will be something that's just it literally says "sexy image."
It's holding hands, isn't it?
No, it just says "sexy image."
No, I mean,
but it
will
be.
There will be people holding hands.
Well, you'll have to censor that, though.
That's too lewd.
That's too lewd.
I'm trying to bring back the joke, and it's not working.
Yes. No. I would have to censor that. That's their eyes impressionable.
Yeah.
Impressionable
Youths
adult
out
eyes
there.
who might get
Impressionable
ideas.
youths.
Think of the children's.
I try not to.
Fair.
Do you want to do outros, co-hosts, or? And then I will say after we do our outros, we do need to make sure that after we hit the stop recording button, I will edit this part out of me talking about this, except for the video part, because that's too much work.
Inside baseball.
Yes. We do need to hang out for a second until I can confirm that everyone's content has uploaded to the server, and then I can dismiss you like a school teacher.
Perfect.
She's loving the power.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I live with a teacher. I get it.
Yeah, I do too. So,
what is happening here? The teacher vibes are strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Is Celeste just me? Because Celeste is also a journalism major, also lives with a teacher.
Yeah, my wife's a school teacher, so.
Yeah.
Might be.
So outros, yes. So yes, my name is Celeste, And you can find me, for some reason, still over at twitter.com. I can't make myself use anything else. I'm so sorry. But for any of you other hooligans that are sticking around there, I am at Sapphic Celeste. I'm sure most of you know this by now, but I'm still there, posting all sorts of things. I'm a little over 2 months post-op surgery of getting a pussy, so like you'll hear me talk about that a lot.
Oh, we did. I
Thank
do
you.
want to talk about that.
Yes, I would love to have like a special episode about that, you know, everything, because
On a very special episode of Transpotting.
that's right.
Yes.
You can also find me over on Instagram, where shit, I actually just changed my name. I need to figure out what I changed my name to. I wasn't ready for this. Oh yes, I am. It's a long story of why it's not the same, but whatever. It's
Wait, that's the name?
celestial.spacedust. Ooh, I wish. it's a long story. No, it's celestial.spacedust, and that's mostly the same selfies you'll find over on Twitter, except for the less spicy ones won't go on Instagram. You're gonna have to go to Twitter for that one. And that's all my internet thingies. That's me.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm Marcia. I'm on Oh No Marcia at Instagram, and that's about the only thing I have, though I haven't posted on that in so long because I've been super, super busy lately. But I'll try to, if I have anything interesting happening, I'll post it there. Riv.
Very cool. I have been Riv, which is short for River. By the way, I have an artist name called Barry the River. Segue. I am a metalcore recording artist. Go check it out. BarryTheRiver.com has links to all of these streaming services where you can find all of my shit. I'm also on various social medias, a handful of them, under the mantle of Cupcake Hellsword with one L, like the Norse thing.
The Norse thing.
We did it.
No,
We
I got it.
outroed.
We did.
We did
I
it.
think I forgot to plug my TikTok, though.
Oh, now's the time.
Plug it. It's we're still
The time is
here.
now.
Let me check what my TikTok handle is. I don't use it very much. Oh, it's Oh No Marcia.
We're such a disaster. We don't know our own things. What
The
are we
only thing
doing?
that I have on
That's
there
why I
lately
made them
was
all consistent.
I was in this singing competition and I did pretty good, and I put a couple posts from that on there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We have some
I
cool
saw
stuff
it. It
coming
was
up
really
later
good.
at the end of the summer, so I've got involved in some fun little projects now, so it keeps me very busy, but should have some updates soon, so it should be fun.
We keep reeling you back in. We just keep pulling you back in.
I
Back to
like
trans-
it. Yeah.
Good.
It's like an
Can't
addiction.
go.
Mm-hmm. It's like a drug.
Well,
It's like nicotine. I gotta have my
hopefully
fix.
better than that. Okay.
Or maybe just as good, but without the bad sides.
I feel like it's
Sure.
100%
Sure.
upsides, and all of those upsides have downsides.
That's math.
Okay. Okay. I'll let that one.
But I will say
I'll
that
let that
all of
one
the
go.
downsides have upsides as well, too. So
Well,
My
they would have to if all the
blonde
upsides have
bimbo
downsides.
brain can't handle that.
it's just kind of like you can find a silver lining in any cloud, just like you can find a cloud in any silver lining.
Is it just like that really, really good, only good quote that Jordan Peterson ever had that was like, there are cathedrals wherever you look to see them, or something like that?
Oh, the
It's
only
been
quote
stuck
that
in
I
my
know
brain
from him
recently.
is meat.
His quote, I'm sorry, I just love this quote so much. He didn't even mean it how it was supposed to be, but it's, there are cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes to see. And
Yeah, that's a nice way to put that.
it's the only important thing he's
Kind of
ever
rude to the
said.
blind community, if you ask me. A little ableist.
Yeah, honestly.
And
Yeah.
your cathedrals.
Yeah.
And the
Right?
cathedrals.
And cathedrals.
Yeah, I mean, some people put a lot of work into those
Oh,
cathedrals.
okay.
As you can see them any. No, I get your point,
They're
Celeste.
really
Yeah, they're still
pretty.
building La Sagrada Familia.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
Where
Oh,
even are
boy.
we?
We just finished our
Well, It's
outros.
probably about that time for me to.
I
We did,
love
So
it.
I'm gonna press the stop recording button. Yeah,
Good.
you heard it here first. Transpotting, it's like a drug. With
There's our
upsides
ending
and
right there.
downsides that also have upsides.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's
I'm
all
gonna
bye.
in your
press the stop button.
attitude.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, but everyone stick around
Love
till
you
I
all.
say you can go, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Bye, but not bye.
Love you all, bye, but not bye.